Hey, Frank, with about 5 minutes left, it was 95-77. I just wanted to ask you about the defense, what you thought was most effective in frustrating Phoenix or holding them to some difficult shots.
Well, you said it right there. I mean, we want to make everything difficult. And, obviously this is a high-powered offense. One of the best offenses in the league over the last 15, 20 games. I think number one rated over the last 15, 20 games. And, our guys are just competing. We have a scheme in place to try to make things difficult for them and, limit certain things. And, it's not always perfect, but our guys are playing so hard. They're playing with that playoff intensity, that worked for us last year. And, we were, quite frankly, terrible offensively in the first half, not doing anything that worked for us in game two. We just didn't do it in the first half, and our defense kept us in it. So that's part of our identity, and hopefully we can minimize the stretches like we had in the first half offensively.
Frank, LeBron didn't take many shots in the first half. Seemed like he was spraying the ball out to open shooters. It wasn't going in. What did you make of his third quarter and just attacking the basket and how that impacted the game?
Yeah, he changed the whole game. His mindset just reversed the whole course of tonight's game. Wanting to get to the rim, and honestly, like our whole group did. Like AD, even though he had was dinged up with his knee and was a little bit hobbled, really committed to what worked for us in game two, which is really running the floor, being the first big down, putting pressure on their transition defense, and that opened up a lot of driving lanes for Brown, who mentally made the decision to get downhill and just live in the paint and live at the rim. And he was dominant during that stretch. And, those two guys really reversed the whole course of the game.
Algoon.
Frank, there were those possessions in the fourth quarter with LeBron where he had the ball and the fans were standing up and cheering just in anticipation. And he was really seeming to milk it a little bit. What does that tell you as a coach when obviously you guys had the lead and are trying to win, but LeBron seems to be enjoying some of those sequences and kind of carefree?
Well, it just shows how much we miss normalcy. We played that whole season in the whole postseason in the bubble last year. Played most of this season without any fans, if or a few fans, and we're still not there yet. But he's a showman. He's a performer. He loves performing in front of these great Lakers fans, and to have our first playoff game in front of these fans was amazing. We don't have the capacity that we want yet, but our fans tonight were super loud. And kudos to those guys. They really gave us energy throughout the game, and in particular with what you're talking about with LeBron, just putting on a show for these guys.
Bill Oram.
Frank, you guys went through all the ups and downs last year as well as this year. How important is it, or that's the way you guys kept your poise in this game when you have injuries and you have individual battles and you have moments where a team could lose its composure? How important was it, and will it be going forward to kind of be able to reap the benefits of having been battle tested over the last couple of years?
Well, it's huge. I mean, that's what it's about, winning the playoffs. You're going to have stretches where the other team takes you out of what you're trying to do, and where you're not playing at your best. But if you play as hard as we play, the last couple of games, and that's part of our identity. You're going to have a chance to stay in the game with your defense, and you just have to have that poise and composure when things aren't quite going your way, and have the ability to just like I said at halftime, let's just have a reset. Let's settle back into who we are, and keep the defense performing at a high level, and we were able to turn the game around.
Dave McMenamin.
Frank, AD battled through so much last season injury-wise. This year, the right leg got the better of him for those 30 games. What does it mean for the group when he was clearly shaken up on that chase down block on Devin, but he pushes through? I don't think he even subbed out at all following the play, and obviously was big in the second half.
Yeah, just a lot of guts, man. Just a gutsy, tough performance from a great player, and we needed it. We needed him to stay in there to get this W. He knew that. He was going to do whatever it took for us to get this W, and to play through pain, to play through. I mean, he's limping up and down the floor a few times where we're talking to the staff and the medical team like, maybe we got to get him out, and they're saying he's good to go. It's safe. It's just about playing through pain, and just a tough performance by AD.
Mark Medina.
Yeah, Frank, to follow up what was asking and the point you made, what were those conversations like, if any, with AD about when, hey, do you want to sit out for the rest of the game or even just a little bit?
He didn't want to come out of the game. I kept telling him, at any point you get a little gassed, I got a sub for you, okay, and we'll get you back in when we need to. I think he asked for it at some point midway through the fourth, just to get a quick blow. But in terms of the third quarter, where I had the most concern, where he was limping pretty heavily, I just had several different moments with our training staff saying, it feels like we got to get him out, and they're like, no, he's good to go and he wants to stay, and it's just about playing through pain. So so we let him rock, and obviously, he delivered a great performance for us.
We've got time for two more. Michael Duarte.
Yeah, Frank, another tough shooting night from the perimeter, but yet you guys dominated the paint. I remember what your mantra was in the bubble last year about winning the paint. So what is your stance on shooting, and when it does fall, just how good can this team be when those shots start to fall?
Well, that's when we're dominant. When we're making 15, 17, 18 threes, and we're defending the way that we're capable of, and we have the basket attackers that we have, that's when we're at our best, but the shots aren't always going to fall. Our guys play with great energy, great intensity, and, sometimes that takes its toll a little bit on the shooter's legs. But, like I said, we have enough to win even when the shots aren't falling. That's what our culture is built around. And, when we are knocking down threes, which that will come, we're going to be awful tough to beat.
Last question, Barry Bloom.
Hey, Frank, getting back to the crowd and the situation, how much of a sense of history do you get to the fact that this was the first Laker playoff game and the first win in this building since 2013? And now you're looking ahead to playing in this building, not you personally, I won't be around, but till 2041.
Oh, you're talking about the extension? Well,
and the history of the recent years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's, to me, it was this group's first opportunity to play a playoff game in front of these great fans. And like I said, we're really yearning for full capacity or close to full capacity. But to be able to deliver a victory, there's nothing like winning in the playoffs, for sports fans. And, to be able to deliver that in front of those guys is a great source of pride. And, we look forward to being in this building for years to come.
Do you get any sense of your own place in Laker history at this point? I mean, there's some great coaches here who you followed who've won championships.
I'm just trying to do the best I can and win as many games as we can and give this team an opportunity to win another championship. All that time for perspective is down the road.
Okay, thank you.
All set, Frank. Thank you.